What is up, guys? I am back with another new edition of ENN 10. Today is Tuesday, February 9th. I am your host, Michael Ivory. Now, to Sofia with some exciting business updates.
Thank you, Michael. As of today, billions of pounds were taken off the value of the UK stocks as the panic of a new strain of COVID-19 was discovered in the United Kingdom. Lockdown was put into place across the majority of Britain on Saturday as the government tries to control the spread of the new strain of COVID discovered just a few days previous. Countries all around the world began to shut down their borders and stock markets internationally fell, suddenly as people live in fear of the new strain. The FTSE 100 dropped 2% as the London Stock Exchange opened, taking off around £33 billion off the entire index. The sell-off deepens as the trading went on, and the blue-chip investment was down 3% by the afternoon. The FTSE 250 has also dropped drastically, 3.5%. The weight on the UK stocks began to level out by around lunchtime, and France's trade minister stated that the country was looking into restarting the trade of goods with the UK. Fear spread much beyond just the UK, and stocks had dropped over 3% at Wall Street in New York. Prime Minister Boris Johnson created an emergency press conference early Saturday, stating that lockdown conditions would be occurring again for millions of people in London, the South East, and the East of England, which could create even more issues in the stock market for the UK to come. To you, Michael.
Thank you, Sophia. Today we hear this week's report on the weather in London, England. This week, try to wear clothes that are warm because the weather will be very cold. On this great Tuesday, we will be getting snow. We have a high of 1 degree Celsius and a low of -3. On Wednesday, unfortunately, we will not have any more snow showers, but it will be a partly cloudy day. The high is 2 degrees Celsius and the low is -6 degrees. On Thursday, the weather will also be cloudy. The high will be 1 degree and the low will be -3. For Friday, the high temperature will be 0 degrees and the low will be -4 degrees. This will be another partly cloudy day. Saturday and Sunday are both also cloudy days. The high for Saturday is -1 and the low is -2 degrees. Sunday is a little bit cloudier and we can predict a possible snowstorm is coming up soon. The high temperature is 4 degrees Celsius and the low is -1. On Monday, we have a high of 4 degrees and a low of 0 degrees. This Monday, we will see rain and snow, so make sure to pack your umbrellas. So that's your weather report for this week. Personally, I thought it was pretty cool. Now to Maya with our report on some interesting updates on the European Union.
Thanks, Michael. Hi, I'm Maya. Recently, there have been some interesting developments in the negotiation between the European Union and the United Kingdom. The UK first voted to leave the EU in 2016, but has finally officially left as of the 31st of January. There was lots of negotiation and a deal has finally closed. But with these new terms of deal, both sides must agree on rules and standards on workers' rights. The good news is, the UK is now free to set its own trade policy and can negotiate deals with other countries. However, this new adjustment and transition period has not been completely easy. A local fishing merchant by the name of Sandways buys seafood from 150 local fishermen all over Lyme Bay. According to Mr. Samways, normally these fish were shipped with ease. But with Brexit, it has taken more than just 1 or 2 forms to officialize a simple trade deal. This process has been overcomplicated, and British exports need an ID and make sure they have a license to sell fish. I guess it's to make sure that nobody's selling the seafood is too fishy. Although it's only the start of Brexit, so hopefully the process gets better. Now to you, Tessa, with our sports news.
Thank you, Maya, and now the latest news on sports. In football, Manchester City has taken the first spot in the Premier League standings. This past weekend, Manchester City beat Liverpool with a score of 4-1. Manchester United tied with Everton with a score of 3-3, and Sheffield United lost to Chelsea with a score of 1-2. Chelsea has dropped to 5th place in the Premier League. That may be connected to the recent sack of head coach Frank Lampard. He leaves after 18 months in charge after in the summer spending big on transfers, pressuring him this season to do well. In rugby news, there is a new player said to be by James Root, the greatest of all time. This new player is named James Anderson, and after his performance and victory over India in Chennai this weekend, it has made him prove to the coaches that with enough practice and his skill, he will go far in the game of rugby. The final story we have today is about the Olympics and the UK's plans on how to participate and how they are looking to the future on how to prepare for it. As you probably know, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics was pushed back to 2021 with the hope it could be done by the summer, and the organizers are still trying to figure out how they could bring in all the athletes without breaking COVID-19 restrictions. The UK has commented that they would be willing to try to bring their teams in, but planners still don't know if they could even hold the event in general, with planning it all, including the restrictions with the amount of time they have. Thank you.
10-second trivia. Which of these countries was not one of the founding members of NATO? Belgium, Italy, Poland, or Luxembourg? Although all of these countries were early members of NATO, Poland was not one of the founding members and was actually added in 1997 along with Hungary and the Czech Republic.
For more news about NATO, we can look at what happened this Saturday. U.S. President Joe Biden confirmed his commitment to strengthening the U.S. relationship to the UK and other NATO allies over the phone with the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Biden shared his intentions to strengthen the relationship between international countries to revitalize the transatlantic ties with the critical role of NATO. Boris and Biden look forward to strengthening their relationship between the two countries to recover from all the effects of COVID-19 successfully and safely.
Other recent news about NATO includes the United Kingdom's top stories on how the UK has always been an active contributor to alliances and NATO. Firstly, this past September in 2020, the UK led thousands of NATO troops in major exercises off the Scottish coast. This exercise took place for about 11 days, with 11 nations coming together with over 6,000 personnel aboard to learn and experience combined joint operations from some of the UK's armed forces about training for high readiness deployments. In other related news, a 3-year contract enhancement has been given to the UK to ensure NATO submariners are ready. This contract will go to the year of 2023 and provide support to the NSRS. NSRS, or NATO Submarine Rescue System, is a project where the UK, France, and Norway work together to make sure submarines for their countries are as safe as possible.
On a more serious note, a new variant of the coronavirus has been identified as originating from Britain. This strain of the virus has been named B117. Since the first suspected case in fall of 2020, this new virus has spread to over 50 countries. It has proven over 35% more transmissible than existing versions, as well as having a 30% higher death rate. While the UK government has not moved towards new precautions against this particular strain of the virus, they do remain on track for the national goal of vaccines, with over 20% of the population having gotten their first shot. But COVID numbers aren't the only problematic statistics going up this quarantine. The Daft Pass police force, which operates in Wales, says that there has been an increase in dog theft over the pandemic, with one such incident resulting in violent threats, as citizen James Cousins fended off 2 attackers who attempted to steal his puppy. Make sure you keep your eyes open for dog napping, everybody. Thanks for listening. Now back to you, Michael.
Well, that certainly took a woof turn. Oh dear, forgive me for that terrible pun. It's the least you could do. I certainly wouldn't want my puppy pickpocketed. The absolute creativity in these puns is appalling. I've been your host, Michael Ivory, and I've been giving you some excellent dog puns, don't you think? Today, we wanted to give a shout out to the greatest school, Santa Margarita Catholic High School, coming to you all the way from RSM, California. If you want to get a shout out in the future, make sure to keep watching our videos, subscribe, and comment down below. Thanks for watching, and this is ENN 10.